Alright, if some of you watched the Edric video where he fought the Zombie Horde, lost twice, and finally won the third time, it occurred to me that maybe you want to see what the Zombie Horde actually is, to see a breakdown of it. So today I'm going to break it down. There are basically 7 tribes of tokens. I would just call them tribes. Each one has its own Zombie Knight, 2/2 Menace, Zombie Giant, 5/5, punch you in the face. So there are 11 tokens of each tribe, plus the giant, plus the zombie knight. So there are 13 tokens in each tribe. How many tribes did I have again? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So 7 times 13, there are 91 tokens. And what I did is I chose ones that I kind of like the art on, or in the case of a couple, ones I just had lying around and it wasn't too cheap to buy them. So this one, Christopher Muller. I always love Christopher Muller's artwork, so that was an easy choice. This one from Theros, it looks pretty cool. It's kind of funny though, because this looks like a life preserver behind him. It looks like he's at a harbor. And then I've got this weird one from Cynthia. I don't like this one as much. I just don't dig it, but it was cheap to buy, so I got them. This guy, this Carl Critchlow zombie, he looks fucking tough. He looks ripped and ready for action. Sultai? Yeah, Sultai Zombie. Sultai Zombie from Tarkir. Pretty cool. I like it. Seb McKinnon just does weird shit. I mean, his art, if you look at his non-magic art, his art where nobody's really telling him what he should do, he does some crazy shit. It's pretty cool. And then this one from Olivia's Wedding, I guess. That's pretty. I love the stained glass. The zombie coming through it. Something else smashing, obviously, because otherwise he'd be through the stained glass. But that's pretty cool. And then, so that's 92 tokens, a big thick stack of tokens to beat you with. And then I have 42 cards. So I had 41, and then in my foundation packs that I opened, I got this guy. And what you want with making your zombie horde is you want as few decisions as possible for the zombie horde to make. You want it to be mindless, you want it to be easy. You don't want anything where choose target creature to be destroyed, anything like that. Now I'll show you how to demonstrate. So this guy, Menace, well, that's pretty easy. That's pretty mindless. Threshold, when it attacks 7 more creatures, it becomes a 5/4. Then this guy's just funny. He's Zombie Musher. Snow Landwalk, so if any of your teammates are playing the Snowlands, he's going to smash you. Don't worry about the regeneration. Just ignore that part. So on the zombie cards, there's a lot of things that you would just ignore for the purpose of the game. Yes, the Zombie Horde has access to infinite mana, but don't make it too complex. 2-headed zombie, 4/2 menace, pretty easy. Felden's Cane. Okay, this resets the Zombie Horde. So to beat the Zombie Horde, every point of damage you and your teammates do, they mill a card for it. If you do 11 points of damage in a turn, they mill 11 cards. And on their turn, they go token, 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 card. If they flip over Felden's Cane, any spell they flip, they immediately resolve it. They immediately take any decisions. So if Felden's Cane is the first one and they have an empty graveyard, they just triggered anyway. They're mindless. It's a zombie horde. But let's say you've got 50, 60 cards in the graveyard, they get Felden's Cane, and they shuffle it all back in. So you have to start all over again, punishing them. It can get pretty brutal, and I put this in here for that reason. Severed Legion, okay, 2/2 with Fear.
Okay.
A nerf.
What is that?
This is Zombie Horde. I'm explaining what the Zombie Horde is and how it looks.
Okay. Is a zombie coming together?
No. Gix is.
Who's that?
Yawgmoth Predator.
Some moron?
Yeah. Where are you going?
The drone fell from the balcony.
Okay.
So I'm
You're
gonna...
wait, you're going to fly it from the balcony?
No, it fell off the balcony.
Why did it fall off the balcony?
I tried to fly it and
I hope you didn't break it already.
I didn't.
I hope so.
Because I tried to fly down there and I just got scared.
Okay.
And it works.
All right.
It's fine.
Okay. Fetch.
Bye-bye.
So a nerve, each of your opponents chooses and discards 2 cards. That's pretty easy. Bruntling or Animator, whenever he or another cleric is put in a graveyard from play, 2/2 zombie. So this can get kind of tricky. So if you've got clerics, you or your teammates, and they die, then the zombie horde will get more zombies. Grave Betrayal. It just casts it, and whenever a creature you don't control dies, return it to the battlefield under your control with additional +1/+1, and it becomes a black zombie. So that's pretty mindless too. That doesn't take a lot of thought. So the zombie horde, whenever any of your teammates' creatures die, obviously they get it, and they beat you with it. Ixalan Jailer. Cards in graveyards lose all abilities. Lord of the Undead. All zombies get +1/+1. Don't worry about this. This part, return target zombie card from graveyard to your hand. Just ignore that for the zombie horde. It doesn't matter. It just slows down the game, makes too many decisions. Just ignore it. Zombie Cutthroat. Don't morph it. It just comes into play as a 3/4 creature. Fallen Cleric. Protection from clerics. Could be relevant. Probably not going to be, but could be. Bog Raiders. Swamp Walk. That's probably going to be relevant. Sewer Shambler. Swamp Walk. Yeah. Somebody's probably going to be playing swamps against it. If I run Saskia, obviously she's got swamps. Sig. Edgar Markov. And so on. And the Scavenge, just ignore it. It doesn't matter for the zombie horde. Nested Ghoul. Now this one looks like it might have a decision, but it doesn't. It's just whenever something damages this bastard, he gets a 2/2 creature token. Zombie Brute. Amplify. The zombie horde has no hand. The only time, and actually it wouldn't even trigger then, because let's say you bounce all the cards back to the zombie horde's hand through evacuation, through Ether Eye, something like that. On their turn, the first thing they do is immediately dump their hand, put it on the battlefield. So then you go token, and if you hit this guy, there's nothing to amplify. So he's just a 5/4 trampler. Undead Warchief. Zombie horde has infinite mana, so it doesn't matter that they cost less, but zombies get +2/+1. That can get pretty brutal. Innocent Blood. Everybody sacrifices a creature. Now this one, what I always do is I always just pick the biggest zombie. It kind of feels like cheating a little bit, but you don't want them to make decisions. This is one of the few cards that does have that element to it that I allow, because it can be punishing. If this is the first card that they flip over early in the game, it can be really punishing to people. SK Zombies, 2/2, just really cool text. Bad Moon. Black creatures get +1/+1. That includes yours and your teammates. Graph Harvest. Zombies control a menace. Don't worry about this. Exile a creature. No. They're not going to do it. They don't know how. They're zombie hordes. They're idiots. Tainted Remedy. If the opponent would gain life to the player... This... I think this is actually worth some money. And I was actually looking for one. I thought I had one. And I couldn't find it, so I thought I traded it. So that... maybe I'll keep it. Maybe I'll put it into the deck. 4/3. This is great. Firax of Blood Rage sent a war giant at us? What? Do I have to spell it out for you? Kill the giant, scoop out its skull, and drive it back to Blood Ridge. Honestly, what kind of necromancer minions are you? Yeah, Living Death. Everybody exiles all creature cards from his graveyard, sacks all creatures he or she controls, Then puts all creatures he or she exiled on the battlefield. So, if you've been punishing the Zombie Horde, and you've been doing a lot of work, and you've really been hammering them, and they've got a full graveyard, this is not good. But that's why it's in here. It's supposed to be difficult. It's not supposed to be just an easy win. Shambling Attendants, 3/5 death. The Delve doesn't matter. 3/5 Death Touch, that matters. Bantu's Last Reckoning. Well, Zombie Horde has no lands, so he doesn't give a shit. He's just gonna have Bantu do what Bantu's doing. Liliana's Mastery. Zombies get +1/+1, and when it comes into play, Zombie Horde gets 2/2 black zombie creature tokens. Famine. This can actually be pretty good if it comes early in the game. If the Zombie Horde has a bunch of 2/2 tokens, and you don't have many blockers, and they cast Famine, you're like, wow, oh, thank the Jesus. Whew. Yeah, you lose a couple of creatures, but if they lose, 10, 12, 2/2 zombies, that was a bigger threat to you. Zombie Apocalypse. Return all zombie creature cards from your graveyard, from the Zombie Horde's graveyard, to the battlefield tapped, then destroy all humans. This could be really brutal against some of you and your teammates' decks. You have a lot of humans, and if this resolves, not only does all their shit come back, and remember the tokens, for the Zombie Horde, the tokens are treated as cards. The tokens are treated as 0 casting cost creatures. So, any other tokens they make, for example, those are not treated as cards. So don't use cards for them. Use, coins, beads, the teeth you lost when you were 9. Use those. So all the cards will come back, and then all the humans will die. Cemetery Reaper, other zombies will get +1/+1. Yeah, that's good. Exile target creature from graveyard, but don't do it because then it becomes too many decisions. It doesn't fit with the theme of it. Just let him pump up the other zombies and smash people. Oh, excuse me. Gluttonous Zombie. 3/3 with Fear. Infectious Horror. Infectious Horror attacks. Each opponent loses 2 life. Now, you do have a shared life total. So if there's 3 of you, collectively you lose 6 life. Sorry, that's the way it works. Twilight's Call. They will not play this as an instant because they do not have a hand. They flip over tokens, and then whatever spell comes up, it resolves, and then they carry on from there. Now, this does mean since all the zombie tokens have haste, and these come into play untapped, all their shit's coming back and smashing into you. So you better have an Etherize or something. Counter spell. Massive Ghouls, just a 5/3. Fleshbag Marauder. Enters battlefield, everybody just sacrifice some Fleshbag Marauder. I mean, that's what everybody does anyway, right? Whenever I see a spell like this played, that's typically what people do. They sacrifice the sacrifice yoke. Army of the Damned. Put 13 2/2 black zombie creature tokens onto the battlefield. Tapped. Don't flash it back. Don't worry about that. Then it becomes 2, because when you flash it back? You flash back on the next turn? No, you could, because it has Zombie Horde has access to infinite mana, and technically it is a spell they can cast. You can go ahead and flash it back if you want to. That's up to you. You make your Zombie Horde any way you want. Death Baron. Skeletons control, another zombies control, get +1/+, and have Death Touch. Call to the Grave. Baiting each player's upkeep, they sacrifice a non-zombie creature. The Zombie Horde only has zombies. Any creatures it brings back from other people's graveyards become zombies, so you don't need to make any decisions for this. Except for your own sacrifice. Noxious Ghoul. Whenever he or the zombie enters the battlefield, all non-zombie creature tokens get -1/-1 until end turn. Now, if you're playing the variant where you're doing 2 spells. Let's say you found it too easy. The Zombie Horde is too easy for you. So you decide you're going to go token, 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 spell, token, 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 second spell. If you do that, and I saw this in a game, about 4 tokens, and then Noxious Ghoul, and then everybody's like, oh, fuck. Because about 6, it was either 5 or 6 more tokens came out. So all of the creatures got -5, -6 until end of turn, and then another spell resolved. They did not win that game. Cower and Fury creatures opponent's control get -1 until end turn. Siphon Flesh, everybody else sacrifice creature, you get a 2/2 black zombie token for each creature sacrificed away. Endless Ranks of the Dead. Beginning of your upkeep, you get X 2/2 black zombie creature tokens, where X is half the number of zombies you control rounded down. So this, you will need to do some math. You will need to think about it for the Zombie Horde. And then we're back to the Crypt Feaster, and that's how it works. So let me just shuffle it a bit. The other thing I thought about before I do that, so I've got different arts, right? Something else is you can have each tribe have a different ability. You would need to write it down so you remember, but like this tribe, the zombies could have First Strike. This tribe, the zombies could have Death Touch. This one, the zombies could have Menace. If you want to do it that way, I don't recommend it. It's something you can, I mean, there's several different zombie arts, so you can play with it a bit more. But it's already pretty brutal as it is, let me tell you. So, shuffle, shuffle. Okay, got the tokens kind of shuffled. I'm going to keep that Tainted Remedy set aside because there was a deck I wanted to use it in. I forget which deck it is offhand. Probably Nekazar. Yeah, the Zombie Horde. So 92 plus 42, 134 cards. A bit bigger than your typical commander deck, so shuffling it is cumbersome. Smash these together, shove them together, make sure I get a good mix, so yeah. Alright, so again, to illustrate how it works, you get 3 turns to set up, you and your teammates. You get 3 turns, unmolested, to play lands, play creatures, get ready, because you know it's coming. And then they come. So you go token, 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 shit, oh fuck, token, oh my god, token, oh this is going to be bad, token, uh-oh. And then Endless Ranks of the Dead. So that gets cast. And then, on the end of turn 3, you have 2, 4, 6, 8, you have 9 zombie tokens attacking you and your teammates. 9 2/2s. And let's say you survive. So they have haste, they attack. So, beginning of the Zombie Horde's upkeep, so you take your turn, you and your teammates, so they get 4 more. Half the number, rounded down. You might as well not untap the zombies because they're just going to keep attacking. So then you do token and Siphon Flesh. So that's not so bad. So now they've got 4 Endless Ranks of the Dead tokens. They've got 10 of these tokens. You and your teammates have just lost a creature per man. And the Zombie Horde gets a 2/2 token. Let's say there's 3 of you. So that's 3 more they have. So that's 17. 17 2/2s coming at you on turn 5. That's why the Zombie Horde can be pretty frustrating. pretty fucking brutal. But if you build your deck and it can stand up to this shit, it's probably a pretty good deck. Some of my decks I don't even bother because I know they're not going to handle this. They're not going to handle the speed. Nekazar. Unless by some miracle I were to get Alabara's Carpet and I had 5 mana just sitting around to use every turn, yeah, they're going to overrun Nekazar because he's just not designed for this kind of speed. He does have some board wipes. I was thinking of putting Ether Flash. Ether Flash is 2 red, 2 colorless enchantment. Whenever a creature comes into play, it takes 2 damage. That will put us a slowdown on the Zombie Horde for sure. So let's see what happens this time. So again, 3 turns to set up. And then they flip over Zombie Apocalypse. They have no creatures in their graveyard, so nothing happens there, but any humans that you and your teammates have played are dead. So then you get your turn, and then they go Scare Zombies. Okay, so we went from one extreme to the other. Scare Zombies attacks. Okay, somebody blocks and kills it. Who cares? So next turn, token, 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 famine. So famine triggers and kills all the zombies. It probably kills stuff even your teammates had too. But sometimes as it happens, sometimes they just don't get going because they draw the cards or they draw shit like famine and they kill all their own creatures. Oh, here we go. Zombie Giant, token, token, and then Infectious Horror. So each opponent loses 2 life and all these attack. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. But this is not insurmountable. On turn, we're about turn 6 now. So having this sort of power on turn 6, most decks should be able to handle it. But then you go token, a nerve. Each opponent chooses and throws away 2 cards, and then you get attacked by that. So that's the Zombie Horde. I'm gonna figure out what to take out for the Tainted Remedy, because like I said, I was looking for it and I forgot where it was. But then I need another card for the Zombie Horde because I like the idea of having 42 cards. After all, it is the perfect number.